Instagram content. One of the most important things we have to do today. Now, in order to explain you better why is that, let me actually draw everything that I have to say. So there are two main reasons why we want to use content. So first reason is basically for awareness. So let me just drag it like this. And second reason is because of lead nurture. Now, for brand awareness, most of you are actually already familiar with that. So brand awareness simply means the more that you post, the more attention you're gonna get on your profile and on you if you're building a personal brand, and that's what we're doing. So the more attention you get, the more brand awareness you have. And what brand awareness means, it just means that people are aware that you exist, basically building a brand awareness. Now, second thing is really super important here, which is lead nurture. So what does that mean? It means that through a period of time, people are consuming your content, relating with you, you're relating with them, and therefore the more they consume your content, the more they trust you. Basically, lead nurture is a process in which a lead goes from not knowing who you are to basically trusting you enough to become a paying client. Now, how can we use content to nurture our leads? So let me actually draw something else here so you can see it better. So let me go like this. Let me use pen tool again. And in order to kind of explain you how does lead nurturing works, so let's create a line, something like this. And here in the beginning of the line, it's where client has zero trust towards us, basically doesn't even know we exist. And here is where he becomes paying client, basically. So this line basically is a line, like a distance of trust, and there needs to be a certain amount of trust for a client to believe in what we do, to believe in what we can do for him in order to buy. So this gap is filled with content. So you can do it two ways. You can basically do it with bunch of Instagram reels, just filling it up like this, or you can do it with couple long form videos. For example, YouTube videos. Maybe one YouTube video is gonna take this much space, maybe one this, and maybe one this, until client trusts you enough to basically buy from you. Now, how can we use our content to nurture people? Like, we already know that we need to post content. Like, it's basically a lifeblood of every single business that exists today. But what type of content do we need to post in order to make people trust us enough to buy from us? So there are three types of content we can post, and all those three types of content goes back to the three reasons why people buy from other people. So people buy from people they know, like, and trust. So let me write that down so you can actually see it. Move this a bit like this. Use pen tool. So people buy from people they know, from people they like, and from people they trust. Now, once we know that people buy from people they know, like, and trust, what we want to do is we want to create content that's going to make other people know, like, and trust us. Now, what type of content do we need to create in order to do all this? Because we all know this is important, but what actual type of content do we need to create in order to do that? So in order to make people to know you, simply you need to stay consistent. Like, the more you post, the more people are gonna see your face, and therefore more people are gonna know you, know that you basically exist, what you do, who you are, and all that. Now, in order to make people like us, we need to post content that's personal to us, sharing something personal about ourselves, some personal beliefs, personal values, things we like, things we don't like. Basically, that's gonna make other people able to relate to us in some way. And because other people can see that we are similar to them, we share similar things that we like, we don't like, we believe in, therefore they're gonna like us more. And in order for people to trust you, you need to post proof. Now, when I say proof, I don't mean necessarily you need to post like a testimonial video from your client, but it's just proof that gives you credibility to talk about what you're talking about, basically. If you're a fitness coach, obviously you don't want to be fat. You want to be in shape, strong, being able to do all the things that you're asking your clients to do. That's like the most basic example I can give you. To give you the best example, think about anything you ever bought. It can be a physical product, it can be anything from someone, even from me. Think about this community that you invested in yourself. So you saw me one time on Instagram and you thought, let's see what this guy's about. You watched the reel, you realized you liked me, you gave me a follow. After more reels and YouTube videos and stories, you saw that I was consistent. I did the thing that I'm trying to teach you right now. I'm consistent. I was sharing in my content something personal about myself. I don't like, I do like. And basically all those things over time made you trust me enough to eventually buy from me. And it's exactly the same with everything else. To kind of explain what normal process on Instagram looks like, let me draw completely new things. Let me use pen tool. So let's say that this is a normal viewer on Instagram, like some your potential client, like a prospect. And he sees your first reel, basically. This is your reel. And when he sees it for the first time, maybe he's not even gonna watch it, he's just gonna scroll. But it doesn't matter. If you're consistent enough, imagine if he sees your face 10 times in a week. After seeing your face for 10th time, he's gonna think, wait, like I'm seeing this guy 10th time this week. Let's see what he's about. And once he watches your reel, if he likes what you're talking about, sees that you're actual genuine dude, maybe he's gonna go to your profile. And when he goes to your profile, let's say this is your profile picture, how many followers you have, your bio, and here you have your reels, your posts, whatever. When he goes to your profile, he's gonna look at your profile picture, your bio, maybe your highlights here, maybe watch some of your other reels, and basically make a decision whether or not he's gonna give you a follow. Now, if he doesn't give you a follow, he's basically just gonna leave your profile, and maybe sometime in the future, you can basically repeat this entire process. But if he gives you a follow, eventually, the more you post, the more videos of you he's gonna see. And over time, as I said, going back to the first thing I draw here, the more videos he sees from you and watches from you, you're gonna be filling this gap, basically, that makes him trust you enough to eventually buy from you. Now, what you need to realize is that clients are not gonna magically just give you the money from watching a bunch of your content. Eventually, after he watches your content, he relates with it, he likes it, and maybe he interacts with it in some way, then you can basically contact that person, start a conversation, and then eventually that person can become your client over time. So as you can see here, we're trying to make this process as long as possible, like process from where the prospect sees us for the first time here until we can eventually reach out to him and start a conversation. We want to make that process as long as possible to give him enough space, basically, to watch as much content from us as possible. And that was one of the mistakes that I made when I was just starting out. Like, what I was doing is simply running ads. People see me for the first time in their life. They go through an ad, they DM me. Straight from that DM, I just book them for a call and hop on a call with them, trying to hard close everyone. It was disgusting. What you want to do and what we're trying to do here is make that process as long as possible. And that's why we simply want to get people to follow us, because once they follow us, they basically in our ecosystem on our Instagram. And then the more you post, the more content of you they're going to see, the more time they spend watching you, the more they're going to trust you. And that's how you basically convert someone who doesn't even know you exist into a paying client over time.